Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Last night Blizzard announced via a forum post that balance changes are coming to standard format of Hearthstone. So in this video I want to take a look at what the balance changes are and how do I expect them to change the meta. First of all, a couple of words about the new Deadmines miniset meta, what the Deadmines miniset has done to the standard meta overall. And the main impression that I have is that many of the good cards were into already good archetypes, so primarily it was the good archetypes that got buffed, and the weaker ones didn't really get any meaningful support. Also, thanks to the new weapon, Garrote Rogue became a little bit easier and more consistent, and Garrote Rogue finally has reached good win rates throughout the ladder. Garrote Rogue is no doubt a very high skill deck, although one that I don't think belongs in a strategy game because it's an APM deck. You just need to click very fast, and I think that's just contrary to what the game should be about. But anyway, the miniset buffed Garrote Rogue to a point where the general Hearthstone player is also able to start winning consistently with it. And overall the miniset has resulted in a less diverse meta. The rich got richer and the poor got poorer. But next week balance changes are coming, so how are they going to change all of this? The most dominant force in the miniset meta has been Aggro Druid, and Aggro Druid is getting nerfed a little bit. Raise a main battle card, currently a 2-mana 2/3, is going to be a 2-mana 2/2 in the future. This means that it becomes somewhat easier to remove, so some of those very snowballing ungames will not happen anymore. Also, Garrote is going to be hit. Garrote currently shuffles 3 bleeds in the deck, in the future it's only going to shuffle 2 bleeds. This means that your basic Garrote combo with +2 spell damage is now only going to deal 24 damage instead of 32 damage. So in order to get the full OTK with Garrote Rogue, you now need 1 more spell damage, so maybe you need to Shadow Step an Ethereal or something. And also it looks like it is going to be very possible to out-armor Garrote Rogue. Not that armor-heavy warrior decks were unfavored against Garrote Rogue before they were not, they were still heavily favored, but now that matchup just might be impossible for Garrote Rogue to win. Mage Quest is also getting hit, new spell damage +2 instead of +3. Obviously thanks to Ignite and plus spell damage, Mage still has infinite damage, so don't expect any kind of fatigue decks to come into play. But in practice this means that often it takes Mage an extra turn to kill you, they draw less cards with Cram Session, they deal a little bit less with their damage spells. And something like Fire Sale does a little bit less damage as well after completing the quest, so if you have a board, if it's a fairly powerful board, maybe it sticks for a little while, maybe those minions actually get to hit Mage in the face on the turn after they have completed the quest. Overall this problem makes Mage 1 or 2 turns slower, so nothing to write home about if you want to play a control deck, but a lot to write home about if you're playing for example a mid-range deck. Finally, there is also one buff, and that's Renew. Renew currently costs 2 mana, but it's going back to its original form of costing 1 mana. And that means that like Wandmaker can give you Renews again. It's really difficult to evaluate the effect of this Renew buff because Priest is doing extremely poorly at the moment. Can this bring some kind of Miracle Priest back into the game? I haven't tried to look into statistics on what kind of performance Priest has, but there's so little data. Priest is doing so poorly that it's impossible to statistically evaluate how important this can be. So this is the biggest wildcard of the balance patch, very difficult to evaluate. Other than that, looking at what decks are going to become weaker, Aggro Druid, Garrote Rogue, Quest Mage, that means that opens up more space for decks like Libram Paladin, Quest Rogue, and Quest Warlock. And even the Face Hunter, even though Face Hunter was already good against Quest Rogue and good against Quest Mage, it was bad against Aggro Druid, and it doesn't really mind more Quest Warlocks and Quest Rogues on the ladder. I of course also tried to view this through the lens of okay, can control decks come back into the game, but that does not look good, because stuff like Libram Paladin, stuff like Quest Warlock, very strong decks against control decks. And with these benefiting from the nerfs, I more see this as a return back to the pre-mini set, the sort of little mid-range meta we had for a while there. That's really the story of United and Stormwind. It's a fight between aggro combo meta and mid-range meta. And every time we have a balance patch, or every time we have a mini set, it just changes the balance of power between those two a little bit. But control, that still remains dead. So that's the kind of meta changes that I expect to see, and if that sounds good to you, then rejoice. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out my Twitch channel.